My name is Mina Ntogo, and at the head table, we've got in the middle is the head coach of the South African senior national team, Coach Hugo Broos, and next to him is Hugo Shabalala, and then next to his right is Mr. Kamkelo Smelebe. The coach will give us his opening remarks, and once he's done, you can then ask your questions. And then once you are done with that, you can then pose your questions to the players. Over to you, coach.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome on this press conference. First of all, I want to thank the people of Bloemfontein Stadium that they put the pitch available for us to train on Monday, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Secondly, I have to say that it's maybe one of the most difficult preparation I've had since I'm coach of Bafana Bafana. We have a lot of injuries, players, important players. First of all, Sibisi is not there. Ocon is injured. Temba, he was playing but is injured again. Sitole plays his first game this weekend but is still not there. Van Rooyen is Kekana. And today we had to tell Maswanganyi to go home again after the injury of yesterday. The reason why we took that decision is that we are not sure. We don't have any guarantee that Tito would be ready for the game of Friday. It's very difficult when you work with a national team where you have only 3 or 4 days to prepare a game to wait. It's more easy when you are a club team. Club team, you have 5 weeks, 6 weeks pre-season, and then you have all the trainings. So I think tactically everyone knows approximately what the coach wants. This is different. We have to do it on 3 or 4 days, and when you can't count on a player the first 2 days, and maybe also the third day, I think that the decision is right, and that you have to say to Tito, sorry, go home. We can't take that risk. His replacement is Sipho Mbule. Why Sipho Mbule? I think everybody agrees that he's a player with much qualities, and I have to agree also that the past years we didn't really see what we expected from a player like that. But he's an experienced player, and he's a player, one of those players who can play on that position. You know already that for more than a year we look for a replacement of Temba. We had Tito, but now Tito is also injured, so it was very difficult to find someone with those qualities. And I think with Mbule, we have the right player on the right position. But I have to tell you also that when he comes, and he will be on training, I think, that tonight I will have a little chat with him, and that I exactly will tell him what we expect from him. Besides that, we have players who don't play so much the last weeks even. Basadin, I don't think that it's the right moment to call Basadin. When you have a transfer to a big team like Sundowns and you don't play, or they put you the first game on the right back, the second game you play 45 minutes and they replace you, and the last game they put other players on your position and you stay on the bench, that mentally Fawaz for the moment is not ready. We have Mudal, everybody knows the problems. Morena is another case, was injured a long time, but now suddenly he plays, and this is something that I want to ask to the clubs to be a little bit more clear. in the information they give us about an injury. I had a reaction of someone when I told him that. He said, yes, but we don't want that the opponent knows that the player will play or not play. I will never call the opponent of the team of next week and say, hey, this one is not playing. Eh? So I don't know that is a reason not to tell exactly what it is and what the player or where the player is. But okay, that's why we took the decision also not to take Morena. But if you see now, we played 71 minutes, I think, last week, all the game. Yeah, we could have the opportunity to take him. But again, if the information is not clear, then it's very difficult for us. Then third, yeah, is the pitch. It's a saga. I called it already the Bloemfontein saga. First of all, we played in Bloemfontein. I went to see the pitch last week. It was awful, really awful. Such a bad pitch. Then there has been a control of FIFA and CAF. I don't know when. So suddenly we got a message on Saturday that we don't play in the stadium because of the condition of the pitch. We didn't know where we had to play. We took contact with Lesotho. So Lesotho didn't know anything about it. Yesterday we received a letter that we will play on the second stadium in Bloemfontein, the little stadium, and not in the big stadium. So yeah, okay, I see you doing this. How is it possible? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but the first game, yeah, is Lesotho who is organize it. So yeah, we have to accept what it is. The other, yeah, I don't know from where that decision comes. Why suddenly Kevin and FIFA controlled the pitches, but yeah, it's a decision they made, and we have to take it like it is. The game of Friday, it's a game of must win. We can't afford ourselves to lose points against Lesotho, and that doesn't mean that I underestimate that opponent. That is the biggest mistake we can make now. That to think that okay, it's only Lesotho and we will win. Lesotho plays a draw in Nigeria last year, I think. They are neighbors, and you know our neighbors are. So we have to be careful, and we have to keep the pressure on our opponents. When we win the game on Friday, job is done, and it's up to our opponents to do better than we, or at least as good as we, and that put pressure on them. So this is something we have to try to be in that position, certainly. And I don't know if it's true, but I think Nigeria is only playing Saturday. I saw it somewhere. So that means that if we win on Friday, that there will be big pressure on their shoulders, because then they have to win against Rwanda, and again, Rwanda don't have to lose, who may not lose, to keep the second place. So it should be an ideal position for us. But first of all, we have to win, and even with everything what happens in the last week, I'm confident. I know the qualities of the players. We are still strong enough to beat Lesotho, but again, we have to focus and we have to be concentrated. We have to reach our best level, and we have to fight. Good, playing a good game, a nice game of football, okay. When we can do it, why shouldn't we do it? But let's start from the first game, from the first minute, to fight for every second and for every square meter on the pitch, and try to win that game. And again, it should be a very good situation for us if we could win the game on Friday.
Thank you, coach. Right, colleagues, you can ask your questions now to the coach. Please introduce yourself and let us know which publication you're coming from.
Right. Yes. Coach Vanilla from SABC here. Um, on the injury updates, the change of Tito and Sipho, is that the only change? Because I see Stennis have also.
I think the changes, maybe Ocon is not there also, so it will be Malwasane from Stellenbosch. And that's all I think I had to change when I announced the 23 players. So it's Maswanganyi and Ocon are out.
Yeah, I wanted to also ask about the issue of the venue. Have they given you the final word in terms of, because today is Monday, the game is on Friday.
Yeah.
Have they given you a definite in terms of?
We received a letter, and in that letter was written that because of the condition of the pitch, that the game will be changed on the other stadium, the little stadium, so not to disturb the transport and the organization of the field. So for me, that's official. But you never know. But again, we don't have to focus on that, and this is out of our power. Just focus on the game, and we will see where we will play. Yeah, after that, afterwards. I leave the arena when you ask questions on the boys here.
One other question for the coach.
Coach, Joseph from Sports, you just said that this is your first time that you face such difficulties. How important is it, and how are you going to make sure that these difficulties do not filter down to the players? And looking into the Lesotho match, the point of complacency from our players, knowing that the bigger match of the two is the Nigeria one, then how do you get them to win against Lesotho, knowing that it's a more lesser opponent?
First, first of all, let's start with Friday. And those boys are here not because I'm Santa Claus and I give them presents. It's because of their performances in the club. And okay, that's true. They are there because other boys are not there for injuries and blah blah blah. But when I shouldn't have confidence in their qualities, they shouldn't be here. So I know that they can help us. I know I saw them playing in their teams, in their clubs, and that's why we choose them because they have qualities to help us. And the game of Tuesday is already is still 1 week. I don't want to think about Nigeria for the moment. I saw games of them, and that is for me enough. So we will see after the game of Lesotho what we are going to do, who will play, how we are going to play. Now my focus is on Lesotho because I know that is for the moment the most important thing, that we have a victory against them. Because if we shouldn't, then maybe we can have more troubles in the future. We have that game against Nigeria, so for them maybe it's also the last chance. And then we have still Zimbabwe and Rwanda. So therefore, when you see that, I think we have to avoid that we have those two stressy, very stressy games in October. And therefore we need that victory of Friday.
Coach, I know you're also in South Africa and you cameras. Yes, Coach. I mean, for the longest of time, you've had a settled group of players. Now, I think for the first time, you're starting to have, like the difficulty you spoke about, certain players not being available and others not being fit. The new players that come in, how much does that necessitate a change of style of play, or are you confident that they come in and their qualities are straight fit to what you're looking to do and continue?
First of all, you know that we have a pool of players, a list of players, around 45 players. And every week we follow them. Some of them live, some of them with on the Y Scout. So we know exactly where those players are, which level they have. So when a guy like Morena, take Morena, is not with us, then we need someone else with nearly the same qualities. Yeah, who have those qualities of more those qualities than the one here next to me. He's quick. He's good feet. So we always try when some players are not there to go in the same direction. And when they're coming here, and even when it is the first time for them, if I shouldn't have confidence in those guys, they will not here. They shouldn't be here. You can be sure of it. And I know already now today, if those guys had to play on Thursday, on Friday or on Tuesday, that I can have confidence in them. And if again, all those players I select are players in which I have confidence, in which I know which qualities they have, and it's up to them. They don't have to be nervous. They don't have to be just play guys like you play in your club, and that is what I ask. So I'm not worried now because of this one is not there, this one is not there. I'm not worried. I have full confidence in that team, and I know that we are able to do or to win against Lesotho and to do a very good result against Nigeria. I know that, but that's football. You never know it for 100%. But what my confidence and the belief in those guys, I'm the how you call it, the most calm coach now for the moment because I'm not worried.
This is the final question from the coach.
Good afternoon, Coach Karabo Freelance. Coach, you've spoken about the importance of this game, and of course it is. But these new players, how do you help them? Because this is a game that we need to learn, to learn rather, the personality, the character, the mentality. Because it might be the first time that you're working with them. How important is it that these guys have the right mentality and character going into such an important match?
You know, I I observe very good during training. And in the past, with all those new guys who came with us, there was never a problem. So when I should see that one of the new ones should be too nervous or do other things than what they do in the club because they want to prove or to show me how good they are, it will not last 2 minutes. And I'm saying, I will call them and I will tell them, what are you doing, guy? You don't have to prove me now. Just play like you always play. Just show your qualities like you always do. There is no difference between a national team training and a club training. There is no difference. The only difference is that the level will be a little bit higher on Tuesday, and certainly on Friday, and certainly on Tuesday, because their opponent is better. But I don't see any problems for that. They will show it. I'm 100% sure of it.
Thank you, coach. You talk to the players.
Yep. I think you have to close a little bit more.